Habits are deeply ingrained in the human brain and psyche, influencing various aspects of our behavior. While habits can make life easier, they can also be problematic and detrimental. By understanding how habits work, you can learn to overcome their power. In this video, we will learn why anticipation is at the root of habit formation, what resisting marshmallows can tell us about habits, and what the latte method is. Hello and welcome to Think Big. Here we summarize books for you in an entertaining fashion. Key idea number 1. Habits are simple cue, routine, reward loops that save effort. Habits form through chunking, a process that turns actions into automatic routines. This allows the brain to save energy. In general, any habit can be broken down into a 3-part loop. First, you can sense an external cue, say your alarm clock ringing. This creates an overall spike in your brain activity as your brain decides which habit is appropriate for the situation. Next comes the routine, meaning the activity you are used to performing when faced with this particular cue. You march into the bathroom and brush your teeth with your brain virtually on autopilot. Finally, you get a reward, a feeling of success, and, in this case, a minty, fresh tingling sensation in your mouth. Your overall brain activity increases again as your brain registers the successful completion of the activity and reinforces the link between the cue and the routine. Habits are formed and maintained in the basal ganglia, making habits resilient because even if the rest of the brain is damaged, the basal ganglia can function normally. Once a habit is established, the risk of relapse remains, making breaking bad habits challenging. Key idea number 2. Habits stick because they create craving. When you engage in a habit with a specific reward, such as eating a chocolate chip cookie every afternoon, your brain begins to anticipate the reward, leading to cravings. In an experiment, a monkey was tasked to pull a lever. Once the task was completed, he was rewarded with a banana. His brain activity spiked, showing a strong pleasure response. Every time the monkey pulled the lever, a spike in brain activity was seen. In other words, his brain had begun anticipating the reward. This anticipation is the neurological basis of craving and helps explain why habits are so powerful. The good news is that craving works for forming good habits as well. For example, people who manage to exercise habitually actually crave something from the exercise, be it an endorphin rush in the brain, a sense of accomplishment, or the treat they allow themselves afterwards. This craving is what solidifies the habit. Companies use this knowledge to create cravings in consumers. For instance, Pepsodent toothpaste became popular because it provided a cool, tingling sensation that people began to crave. Key idea number 3. To change a habit, substitute the routine for another and believe in the change. The golden rule for quitting any habit is not to resist the craving, but to change the routine associated with it, while keeping the cues and rewards similar. This increases the chances of quitting successfully. Alcoholics Anonymous uses a similar approach by helping participants identify their cravings and providing new routines to address them. However, research shows that habit replacement alone may not be enough to prevent relapse during stressful events. Those who resist relapse often rely on belief, and Alcoholics Anonymous' emphasis on spirituality and God helps participants believe in the possibility of change for themselves, making them stronger in the face of stressful events. Key idea number 4. Change can be achieved by focusing on keystone habits and achieving small wins. When Paul O'Neill became the CEO of the ailing aluminum company Alcoa in 1987, he intended to make workplace safety his #1 priority rather than focusing on profits and revenues. Investors were skeptical. O'Neill knew that not all habits are equal. Some habits, known as keystone habits, are more important important than others because adhering to them creates positive effects that spill over into other areas. The end result of focusing on worker safety would be a highly streamlined and hence profitable production organization. O'Neill's approach proved to be a huge success. By the time O'Neill retired in 2000, Alcoa's annual net income had increased fivefold. Keystone habits work by providing small wins. This can trigger a cascade of positive change. Key idea number 5. Willpower is the most important keystone habit. In the 1960s, researchers conducted a study where children were given the choice to eat a marshmallow immediately or wait for 15 minutes to eat marshmallows. Those who exhibited more willpower and waited 15 minutes for the marshmallows were found to have better life outcomes later in adulthood. This shows us that willpower is a keystone habit that can be applied to other parts of life too. For example, Starbucks found that on most days, all of its employees had the willpower to smile and be cheerful. But when a customer began screaming, they would soon lose their cool. To help its employees, Starbucks developed the latte method, which outlines a series of steps to take in a stressful situation, like listening to the customer, acknowledging their complaint, taking action, thanking the customer, and lastly, explaining why the issue occurred. The latte method helped employees maintain willpower. Key idea number 6. Organizational habits can be dangerous, but a crisis can change them. In November of 1987, a commuter at the King's Cross station in London approached a ticket collector and said he had just seen a piece of burning tissue by one of the building's escalators. Rather than investigating the matter, he simply returned to his workstation, thinking it was someone else's responsibility. This was not surprising. Responsibilities in running the London Underground were divided into several clear-cut areas, and as a result, the staff had formed an organizational habit of staying within departmental bounds. Soon after the ticket collector returned to work as usual, a huge fireball erupted, but no one present knew how to use the sprinkler system or had the authority to use the fire extinguishers. In the end, 31 people lost their lives. But even such tragedies can have a silver lining. Today, every station has a manager whose main responsibility is passenger safety. Key idea number 7. Companies take advantage of habits in their marketing. Supermarkets often display fresh fruits and vegetables at the entrance. Marketers figured out long ago that if we begin our shopping by filling our carts with fresh, healthy items, we are more likely to buy unhealthier products like snacks and cookies. As we continue to shop with advancements in technology and data collection, retailers can now target customers more precisely. The American retailer Target successfully used data analysis to target expecting parents. Target's strategy was a major success, leading to significant revenue growth from $44 billion in 2002 to $65 billion in 2009. Key idea number 8. Movements are born from strong ties, peer pressure, and new habits. In 1955, Rosa Parks, a black woman, refused to give up her bus seat for a white man in Alabama, leading to her arrest and sparking a significant civil rights movement. Parks' case gained prominence due to her extensive network of friends and acquaintances across diverse social segments in the community. These strong ties helped spread news of her arrest, initiating a bus boycott. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered a powerful speech advocating for peaceful protests, making the movement self-sustaining. Key idea number 9. We bear the responsibility for changing our habits. Angie Bachman was sued by the casino company Harrah's for $500,000 in outstanding gambling debts. She lost her case because she was aware of her habit and had the opportunity to take steps to address it, such as participating in an exclusion program to prevent casinos from marketing to her. Quite simply, once we become aware of a harmful habit, it becomes becomes our responsibility to address and change it. So in conclusion, not all habits are equal, but some are more powerful than others. Achieving lasting change in life is difficult, but it can be done by focusing on important keystone habits such as willpower. Thank you for watching Think Big. Please comment, like, and subscribe.